A statistic published by the Sense shows that there are about 1.64 million people unemployed in River State as at 2020. And according to the National Bureau of Statistics, River State is second after Lagos State, with states with the highest labor force of about 3.92 million and a total of 1.714 million people out of job. My next guest on Point Blank this Saturday says he has solution to addressing the unemployment problem in River State. And he also said he has solution to building capacity of young people in River State. My guest is the candidate of the Action People's Party for the 2023 governorship election in River State. He's an expert in strategy with a PhD in strategy. He has 20 years in the oil and gas sector as an experienced man. He worked with business leaders to identify growth opportunities, advise on business transformation and restoration and restructure, and value through excellence in strategy implementation and capacity efficiency by delivering projects with costs, building strategy and planning framework. My guest, Dr. Leesi Gborogbosi of the APP, says now is the time to fix River State. And the question is, what is the formula to fixing River State and how will the state be fixed? And it's a great pleasure having joining us in the studio, Dr. Leesi Gborogbosi. Good morning and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Shegu. Happy to be here. Good morning, the good people of River State.
And you know, this is the second time you've been here in the studio. And the first time it was not time for political campaigning, but right now it's time to come up with all of these ideologies. Of course, you are not new to politics. 2006 to 2007, you were providing support and you were providing guidance and training for councillorship and chairmanship candidates on the NPP, am I correct?
Yes.
In Gokana. And 2019, you contested on the platform of the APP. And here you are again contesting to be the governor of River State. But again, let us begin with the challenge of unemployment. And you said you've done a lot of strategic work. What do you think is the bane of our problem?
Yeah, I think it's totally around understanding the importance of people having jobs and having structures around governance that can provide solutions to people not being employed. I think let's look at it first from a biblical perspective, because it's very important. The Bible says that a man who cannot take care of his household is worse than an infidel. That is a very powerful statement, because when people do not have jobs, they lack confidence. It makes them difficult for them to even have respect within their family. So for me, people should be at the center. So every other thing we will do will revolve around people. So that's what I'm trying to be able to show today, to say what do we need to do. First, I would just like to just quickly highlight what we want to do in governance. And then we will then look at job creation and human capacity development. So what we want to do in governance is at the bottom, as the foundation. We want to look at the Sustainable Development Goals. Those are global standards, talking about inequality, talking about access to water, access to energy, diversity. So that at the foundation is the Sustainable Development Goals. Then on top of that, we're going to have the good and integrated governance, which we had discussed before. Then on top of the good and integrated governance, we're going to have 8 pillars. So the 8 pillars will be including secure society, solid.
Actually, I'm very sorry to cut you short, because in your manifesto, it is 9 key strategic goals.
No, it's 9.
It's nine.
It's 9.
Yes.
Yeah. So at the bottom we have the Sustainable Development Goal.
Yes.
Then on top of that we have the one of the 9, which is the base, heavy base, which is the good and the integrated governance. So that is one of them. Then on top of that, one of them is the 18 that we stand on top of that. So that good and integrated governance will look at a solid economy, we look at secure society, a strong economy, solid education. Then we look at health, access to health care. We look at pension. And then we also look at building 3 new cities. Then what we'll be discussing today, we'll be looking at job creation and human capacity development.